Hello guys. So thanks for coming back. Okay. Welcome to my living room. It's very dirty. You can't see around, but it's very dirty. I don't have much makeup on. You'll learn, I guess, as if you keep watching these videos. I'm not somebody that wears a whole lot of makeup. Usually in a sweatshirt and leggings. And my house is never clean. But this is just me. So here we are. So today we're going to talk about Christmas depression. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas. I know this seems kind of a downer, but so me and Delaney, I feel like I talk about her the whole time. She's always with me. She is our daughter. We were talking about how we get depressed the night of Christmas. And I don't know if everybody does this. I don't know if it's just us. Maybe it's in our genes. Or maybe just people don't want to admit that Christmas night, everything's done. Presents are opened. You've been to all the places. And now you're sad. And you're sad for, maybe the rest of the month. And so we were just kind of talking about that. I wrote down, I got every gift I wanted on my list. My husband's good at that. My kids got great gifts, but there's still some kind of sadness, like a cloud kind of over me. I do that every single year. You might have stretched your budget too far, or I think the hype of Christmas, and then it's done. I have Jesus in my heart. I'm a Christian. I know that he's the reason for the season, but I still get that way. I still tend to get like, oh, it's over. Like, this is whole build up this whole year. Now it's over. And I wrote down, I read something similar on a different devotion in the past. We are like the inn, filling up our hearts and minds. When Jesus comes to the door, we're saying, sorry, there's no room. Like I said, I'm a Christian, and I hope that I keep Jesus in my heart throughout the holiday season always. But it's so easy to get so busy this holiday season that you really forget. And this is not going to be a cliche, like, Jesus is the reason for the season video. I want to start out by saying that we're like the inn, filling up with everything else in each room, and Jesus comes by, Mary comes by, and is trying to have Jesus in the inn, and we're saying everything's filled up, move on. I wrote down Revelation 3:20. Behold, I stand at the door and knock. If any man hear my voice and open the door, I will come into him, and I will sup with him, and he with me. He wants to have a relationship with us. He wants us to have joy in our heart in the holidays, but we're full. We've got too many things. Jesus is the reason for the season, but I got to go to this party, this thing, this and this and this. And I seen something that asked, what if Jesus was physically invited to spend this Christmas week with you? This week up until Christmas. What if he physically knocked on your door and he said, hey, can I hang out with you for the rest of the week throughout Christmas? How would we act? Would we have room in our timeline for him, on our schedule? Would we have room for him? And that, I really tried to visualize him actually coming to my door and spending this week with me. How would I react? How would I act to him? And I also want to say, studies show that suicides in January go significantly up. And it just shows, what everything around Christmas and the build up and then that hole that is left in your heart after. So like I said, I do the same thing, and I wrote down some ways that I'm refocusing my heart this year, some things that we are trying to be intentional about this year that kind of changes our heart. And I'm not going to say that I'm going to be perfectly fine after I do these things. I think that it'll help, and I want to help you guys if it will. So we have less money this year, but it has helped me to build up for myself, not only my son and my kids, for myself, that Jesus's birthday is coming. This is something that the wise men and the shepherds and the people of that time were anticipating and getting ready for. And so that's what I keep trying to tell Lawson, but also keep in my own mind is Jesus's birthday's coming. We're gonna celebrate him. This year we're actually gonna do a birthday cake for him. We're trying to do it more focused around him. Now, I'm not somebody that is totally against Santa. I know a lot of people are or not. They feel very strongly about one or the other. I could care less, but I just want it to be more about Jesus than Santa. And so what I have told Lawson is that Santa is one of Jesus's friends that helps give gifts to people that need them, or just helps deliver gifts. Now, as he gets older, that might change. I don't know how I'll go about it, but this year, Santa is just one of Jesus's friends that is helping him. But I'm trying to make it more about, just as much as if I see Santa and say, look, there's Santa, just as much to see a cross and say, look, there's a cross because Jesus's birthday's coming up. I'm trying really hard to just focus on Jesus being the main priority and Santa just kind of being in the back burner, really. Another thing that we're doing and we have done in the past is Rain and I love the movie The Star. We loved it before we even had kids. We sob every single time. Both of us do. At the end, whenever the animals bow to Jesus, it is just, you have to watch it for yourself. It's amazing. Just the adoration for Jesus, and just to show how he came to this world and how those few people celebrated him and were among a king. It's just so cool. So, and I wrote down, I feel this way every year, this kind of hole in my heart, and I'm saved. I can imagine what people that are not saved, how the holidays feel for them. I mean, and especially people that have lost someone and have no hope of seeing them again, people that are not Christians. My mom, this is the first year my mama is not going to be here with us, and she was all about Christmas. And man, there's a hole there. I can't imagine not having Jesus and not knowing that there's something better out there. And I also wrote down, I can't imagine, I imagine it being like a big sinkhole for people that are not saved. A big sinkhole in your heart. And you're dumping presents, you're dumping time, you're dumping as many memories as you can into it, and this hole is huge. And the only thing that can fill that void is Jesus going in your heart. And I have felt that way before I was saved. Just a big hole in your heart that nothing can fill but the Lord. And I can't imagine. I really truly feel bad for people that are not saved. But don't have the Lord during this season, because I mean it's hard just even having the Lord. That hole has been there since Adam and Eve. Anyways, so things that I'm also going to focus on in January, I think, because that's when we get sad, right? The things I'm going to focus on in January, and I hope that you will do this too. Number one, pick one random person in January, sometime in January, and give them a gift. Not for their birthday or anything like that. Just pick one random person and give them a gift in January. It keeps your heart focused on giving, and it keeps, it just is a special blessing to somebody that isn't expecting it in January. You know, you're not expecting something in January. And I just hope that you'll pray about who to give that to, because the Lord will lead you. And who to give that gift to in January. We are going to do a small little affordable trip in January, and it just gives you something to look forward to in January, and it gives more family time. Family time should not be centered to only December and then back to chaos and normal lives in January. Which family time is really big in our household, but we're doing a small little affordable trip in January, and I just think that's going to also help kick those January sads. And then number 3, keep the focus on Jesus. Make it a point that even after the holidays are over, you're still getting in church, and you're still talking about, as much as we have been talking about Jesus lately in our household, I hope that in January, February, March, I'm still talking about Jesus as much as I have been. I'm a Christian and I struggle with that, making it about Jesus. But I am going to keep it in my heart to do so. Keep it in my heart that our kids are not hearing about Jesus only at Easter, only at Christmas. I want them to know that he's in my heart and he's always here. So that's just some things that I'm going to focus on doing. I hope that you'll also do the same. Thanks so much, guys.